I just wanted to sanity check here to make sure everyone can see the slides.
Yes, we can see them, Kate.
Okay. Perfect. So what we're going to walk you through today is around best practices, and spoiler alert, some of those are taking advantage of your GTM benefits that are available to you when it comes to co-selling. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and walk you through here. I'll make some natural pauses and ask some questions, but please do type vigorously in the chat window if you have something and raise your hand. We'll try to get to everything in the time that we have allowed and hopefully get you started with your best practices. So let's just level set a little bit before we dive into the how and what you can do around what is co-selling with Microsoft. And co-selling with Microsoft is any collaborative engagement where Microsoft, you as a partner, and we connect with partners together. So that can be through a direct store, it can be through a Microsoft seller, or it can be through another partner that you've connected with through Microsoft. As I said, it is that framework of direct customer, Microsoft partner, and the Microsoft seller. And so when we talk about the benefits and best practices today, I want you to think about that as we are really trying to help you scale your business through a multitude of channels, not just with our Microsoft sellers. So if you have offers that are IP, so applications, I wanted to call out a couple of accelerators that we're seeing here as we go in through Microsoft's fiscal FY21. We do have a Microsoft seller and channel incentive. So you can access that by qualifying for that incentive through an incentive eligible offer. Those requirements are published in multiple places on docs as well as on partner.microsoft.com. Also within that, you also get preferred solution badging. So something to consider that while you are in fact being, the Microsoft sellers being incented to sell your solution, you also get that preferred solution badging in the direct customer channel on Azure Marketplace and or AppSource. Then there are these demand gen benefits that we're going to go into a little bit, as well as you are commercial marketplace boosted. So there are fee reductions associated with some IP offers that you can take advantage of. And I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. Again, a lot of this information is in greater detail across partner.microsoft.com and on docs. Now, if we're talking about service offers accelerators as we go into this new year here for us at Microsoft, I want to call out that we have expanding geographies. So specifically to consulting services. Today, consulting services is supported in a limited number of geographies, but shortly, as in next week, it'll expand into the 140 geographies that Microsoft supports through our commercial marketplace around the globe. So that's really exciting if you are a consulting service partner. And then we also have partner to partner co-selling. So this is a capability that was released this year. Most recently, where you as a partner can actually invite another partner into a co-sell engagement. So think about this: if you're an ISV, you can have a service partner come in and help you implement that application and really realize the full potential of your solution. And if you're a service, you can connect with your ISVs or whomever you want to connect with to sort of scale your services and find more customers for your services who might need them. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this, and I know this slide is fairly wordy, but what we are going to share with you in the window is the links that go to where you can unlock these. So I really want to talk about the benefits and the enablement that you can take advantage of as a partner. I've organized these by the solution status that your solution has attained. So there are 3 solution statuses that we think about here at Microsoft. We have in market, we have co-sell ready, and we have co-sell incentive eligible. And I do want to call out that incentive eligible status is for our Microsoft seller, an incentive we to you, unfortunately. So within that in market, so what does that mean? So that means you have published your solution in commercial marketplace and it is available to our direct storefront. So it is available to AppSource and Azure Marketplace, as well as through the Azure portal for that in-product experience. So that's your discovery enablement, if you will. Then also by doing so, you you qualify for and you unlock Marketplace Rewards. Marketplace Rewards is a package of GTM benefits that can help you improve your listings. It can give you technical support. It is also marketing benefits that can help you generate demand. And again, it is at no cost to you, and it's something you unlock as soon as you publish. We can drop in these links shortly here. Then as you go into co-sell ready, so when you become co-sell ready with your offer, effectively you have uploaded seller facing bill of materials items. Again, those are the requirements to become co-sell ready, and you unlock additional benefits. So one that actually is most utilized, but we still have not, it's still not been utilized by every partner, is this profile optimization and referral management benefit that you can tap into. So if you have questions around how do I make my little shingle on our storefront look better to our customers, so that is something you can definitely tap into, as well as referral management. Like, what are the best practices and tips around sharing the deals? So that is a great, again, no cost service to you if you have a co-sell ready offer. Then obviously we have that seller discoverability and partner discoverability. And then we have some additional GTM benefits around how to market with Microsoft, how to leverage co-branded materials and marketing assets. You can also do a P2P readiness assessment. So if you're thinking, you know what, I think P2P could be a great lever for me to pull. How should I assess if I'm ready for that? So we have that all for you. You can also have partner success stories that we can build and publish on partner.microsoft.com that you can relay back to customers or to Microsoft sellers. The press release is something that we encourage you to take advantage of. This is something you can roll out through your own marketing channels, where we'll have a Microsoft executive quote, and it will get approved. So that's a bevy of resources that are available to you. And the great news here is that you can access them in a couple of different places. And basically why we've done that is we've tried to put them where you will be. So one, you can unlock all of these things within Partner Center. If your solution is in market, you will see a Marketplace Rewards activation button sort of pop up, if you will. If your solution is co-sell ready, you automatically qualify into those, and you should be able to access those through the solution workspace. If you're not familiar with the solution workspace, it is on partner.microsoft.com, and it is a step-by-step guide, all the way from joining MPN all the way to selling with a Microsoft co-sell offer. So they are readily available to you, as well as on partner.microsoft.com on the GTM services page. Again, we will drop these links into you, but they are readily available. It does not matter where you activate them from. We just want you to activate them. So we've put them a couple front doors out there for you to get in. Now, I want to close here before we open it up to questions around what I affectionately call the 12 tips of co-sell. So for those of you who are familiar with the 12 Days of Christmas song, I kind of sing that in my head when I think about this. And I want you to be excited that there's 12 of these. And the reason why there's 12 is because the first 6 sort of focus on publishing tips, and the last 6 sort of focus on referral management. So when we talk about publishing, what we want you to make sure you guys are doing is clearly define your value proposition when you are publishing the solution. What makes it different from the competition? How does it solve the customer problem? Clearly identify and bring clarity to the target audience. It is really easy in the publishing experience to say, yes, this is for an SMB, an enterprise, and every single customer across all industries, but that can actually work against you. And so we really want to make sure that when you're publishing the solution, you're like, yep, this is the audience I want to reach, and I want Microsoft to know that. This is a tip. The next one is a tip that came directly from our Microsoft Seller Channel, which is include the Microsoft category in your solution name. And you might be asking, what is the Microsoft category? Well, the good news here is that when you're in the publishing experience, it'll literally say category, and you click on that. What we've heard from our Microsoft sellers is that if you identify this is cloud migration or something along those lines, that helps them understand what your solution does. Sometimes the names in there are pretty crazy or really vague. And so this is just a tip to help better align with what your solution actually does for our seller channel. Then we want to make sure that your bill of materials and your contacts are up to date. So as a requirement to get into that seller channel, you do have to have an update bill of materials updated as well as sales contacts within each geo. Um, it seems obvious, but sometimes those things go stale or they're out of date, and that just slows the process down or could potentially lead to a customer loss. So make sure that they're up to date so that you have your best foot forward when trying to co-sell with Microsoft. A tip here is include customer success. So while it is always good for us to say this is what our product can do, we know that when other customers are weighing in and saying, "Yep, this really solved my problem," that leads to better results and in some ways has more credibility. And last but not least, in the publishing space, we want you to consider a transactable offer. For those of you who might be newly foraging into the commercial marketplace, a transactable is a type of offer that you can list. So you can you can list, basically provide a demo, or then you can also do transactable. And so transactable speeds the process along when co-selling, as well as you do by being able to leverage procurement relationships and a couple of other different things, as well as it helps your revenue in the fact that you do qualify into some discounts on that transacting offer type. And then next, so our last six here, and then I will stop talking and open it up for you. We want to make sure that you action referrals from Microsoft quickly. While we do have an SLA of 14 days, which is the same SLA as to our Microsoft sellers, think about it from your own perspective. If you're a customer and nobody contacts you for 2 weeks, haven't you typically solved your own problem or maybe purchased something else? So the sooner the better here, as something we really want you guys to take action on. Then this is another tip that came straight from our Microsoft sellers. Utilize the notes field. So if you are unfamiliar with how you share deals with inside Partner Center, there is a notes field which is free form. And what we've heard from our Microsoft sellers is that they really look at that, and that's where they find those extra pieces of context. As around the business challenge or the background of the situation. And so don't just sort of skip over that just because it's not required in some cases. We also want you to ask for the help that you need when you actually need it. So our tools are now set up where you can ask for specific types of help. So you can ask for a proof of concept, or you can ask for licensing or pricing. And so we really encourage you to ask for that help when you need that help, because that helps our sellers evaluate, oh, this referral has been BANT qualified, for example, and they need this X type of help. And so we can route it to the correct Microsoft seller to get hopefully collaboration, and then hopefully even farther down the road, a customer win. We want you also to balance your co-sell activity. So we've opened this up to P2P. We've opened this up to the direct channel with our customers. And so we want you to build an operational model with us when it comes to co-selling that balances those things, that aligns with your business needs, and not just rely so heavily on hoping to connect with Microsoft sellers. But we have other options for you to help generate that demand and win customers. And our last couple here, you can get help now inside Partner Center. So whether or not you have a PDM or if you are a digitally managed partner, help is there for you. And that help is there for you in the sense that when you are inside Partner Center and you click for help, pull in docs documentation, which is your always on how to. So we try to help you self-solve in that case, as well as if for some reason we can't help you right there with the readily available information, you can click through and ask for support via our support team, and you can do that inside Partner Center as well. And then last but not least, maximize your GDM benefits. These are available to you. These are at no cost to you. Please take advantage of them. We want you to generate demand. We want you to win more customers. And so we've built a suite of things for you to take advantage of that can help your co-selling business. And with that, I will open it up to questions. Sorry, are there any? I see there's activity in the window, and I'm not sure what has been answered or not. So feel free to raise your hand or to speak up if you have a question. I see a hand up. James,
Perfect. Hey, how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So relatively new to engaging with the Microsoft co-sell program, my new startup. We were adopted into the Microsoft for Startups program, which has been very good, using all the benefits of credits and everything else. But when I start to look at the co-sell part of it, one of the challenges I'm having, and maybe you can point me in the right direction, is that a lot of the things that seem to be available through the website are very generic. So it's generic marketing material, how to create a presentation, things that, having some business experience, we already have in place. So is there other things that I am missing in terms of how to engage in Microsoft and this co-sell program that maybe you could help clarify for me?
Sure. I'm not sure what you have taken advantage of or not taken advantage of. So I will try to be more specific in my answers. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and drop some information in the window for you and for everyone else around these specific programs that are available to you. So again, I really want you all to be aware and take advantage of your marketplace rewards, which is a pretty vast suite of things for every partner to take advantage of. So that would be one box check, James, that I would make sure to do is make sure that you've activated or taken advantage of your marketplace rewards. Then you also have varying different GTM services that are available to you, which you can activate right from the GTM page or from inside Solution Workspace. Those vary in the sense of, yes, they have some basic sort of here's how you can market or here's some co-branded material, but there's also on-demand marketing that you can take advantage of that helps you drive weekly campaigns around Microsoft products for your company to generate demand. So I think there's a lot more specification around there. I would love to be able to sit down with you, James, and go one-on-one and be like, here are the levers that I would pull. Unfortunately, I can't do that. So I want to arm you with the information so you can sort of go through those yourself and say, yes, this sounds like something that I want to take advantage of. But at a high level, I want to make sure you know about marketplace rewards and that you're taking advantage of your GTM benefits.
Perfect. And yes, thank you for that. I've gone through all of those and looked at them all, and it sort of left me in the same spot. So maybe this is more of an offline conversation, but I don't see anything that is like a specific step as opposed to, hey, here's some material, here's some, marketing, maybe lead send outs or stuff that you can do. But there doesn't seem to be, at least for me, anything clear that says, okay, here's how you engage with the Microsoft team and the Microsoft partners. It just seems to be like, here's material and here's some tools. Basically, go do
I
it.
guess, hey, Kate, if you don't mind, hey, this is Rob Reardon. So I look after our co-sell experience in Partner Center and kind of how our Microsoft sellers also engage from our internal CRM system, which of course is D365 CRM. But so James, I guess it depends, and I wanted to maybe a one-on-one would be good as well, but I wanted to open it up to this broader group to just say, what is your core desired outcome of
Mhm.
co-selling with Microsoft, right? Is it getting deals from direct customers from one of our storefronts like AppSource or Azure Marketplace? Is it engaging and receiving deals or getting help on deals that you initiate with our enterprise sales team, right? Or Dynamics or Azure, or what is your core goal that you're looking for?
I think just my general core goal was around engagement. So we put the product up on the Azure Marketplace as well as I guess, the App Store based on the criteria that it fit. Um,
Yep.
and maybe it's better that we have a conversation offline because I think there seems to be a lot of benefits and potential here. I'm just not sure what the next step is to unlock them. So once I've
Yep.
accepted the go-to-market benefits, I posted the thing on the Azure Marketplace and everything else, is it now just, you know, I just sit back and wait and we go around about our own marketing? Or if there's I just need some clarity, because if we're engaging in a customer that's maybe already a Microsoft partner, then how do I make that link with Microsoft to say, hey, we're going after this person, can you help? And where's that connection?
Got it.
Yeah, I think that we could, sorry, go ahead, Rob.
No, I was just going to say, so it sounds like you primarily are looking for kind of Microsoft sales help, right? One of your goals. And it's like, hey, okay, I got it on the marketplace. I'm getting some direct customer traction, but I really want to either raise my profile within Microsoft, or, you know, I could talk to you about a little ways to differentiate your solution within our different storefronts by gaining additional badges. It sounds like it's an IP solution, so it's really not relevant. Some of the advanced specializations we have that I would tell you are really helpful from a services standpoint to differentiate your offer and, you know, essentially put it on the end cap in our marketplace would be interesting. But if you're looking to get visibility and raise your reputation and your profile within a given geo, perhaps within the enterprise or what we call SMCC or our mid-market sellers, I'd probably recommend you to start sharing deals with the Microsoft sales team and say, hey, I've got this customer demand that I'm working with. I'd love to understand, you know, what's their total Microsoft stack. I'd love to understand, you know, what are you going and driving from an overall digital transformation standpoint, and without giving away too much about what exactly your solution is and that kind of thing, we would go down the path of what's the right way to engage with our sales team, which often starts with just generating, you know, that revenue through the marketplace direct with customers on your own. Then start sharing deals with the sales team, and they'll get used to, oh, you know, this team is really good at solving this particular business problem. I'm going to go evangelize this more broadly within my area, right? I'd recommend to engage in what we call co-sell days, which often happens in a lot of different areas, that there may be offerings where your solution can be showcased to a series of Microsoft sales resources to kind of build your brand awareness within the Microsoft team. So there are a lot of different ways to go, but if that's your core goal, there's a couple tangible things you can go after in terms of raising your profile internally.
Yeah, and that'd be great. And that's sort of what I'm looking for. Like, how do I connect that dot? So if I have that lead and I say, okay, I want to engage with the Microsoft team as well on that lead, what do I do with my lead so that someone at Microsoft knows to engage with me? Like, I just haven't seen that, you know, where do I put it? How does someone recognize it? Like, what are the specific motions that happen that I can do to help Microsoft recognize that there's a lead here that we can work on together?
Yes.
And I don't want to monopolize the time, so maybe even you can send me some information afterward if that would be possible.
There's some good kind of broad questions in there that maybe I'll just address, and then Kate, we can get back to the regularly scheduled. Well, I mean, really, this is all Q&A session at this point.
Yeah.
So to share a deal, right? You've got a lead or you've got an opportunity. Hopefully, it's a bank qualified opportunity, right? You want to share that with the sales team. You go into Partner Center, assuming that you've now published your solution in the commercial marketplace and you filled out the co-sell tab when publishing that solution. That's one of the key things you'll need to do to be able to also have that solution discoverable for our sales team when they're proactively sharing deals related to customers they've already been working with. But you'll then have the ability to, in the referrals module on the left nav within Partner Center, assuming you're logged into Partner Center and are using it, you can share a deal with the sales team. And the really key, I think one of the tips that Kate was talking through is kind of getting direct access to the right Microsoft seller. So choosing the specific type of help you need. Hey, do you need a POC or demo help? Do you need help selling the value of Azure as a platform underneath your solution? Or do you need help with final licensing or contract terms? We have different resources on the sales team that can help with those different scenarios, right? It's not just broad, hey, who's the account executive, right? You probably want a more specific seller. So I'd highly advocate for having that referral filled out as deeply as you can with, you know, what's the estimated deal size, what kind of help do you need, put in the notes there of specifically what kind of sales help are you looking for, and that way you'll get routed to the right resource to respond.
But it's a great call out, James, that we can do a better job publishing sort of, you know, I'm brand new. 1, 2, 3, 4 where I should go based on maybe some business outcomes we believe you might be trying to achieve. So that's a great call out and good feedback for us that we can work on that.
Good. And it sounds like the recommendation would be for, as new companies, we put all of the leads into the Microsoft Partner Center, and then hopefully they're picked up by a Microsoft rep to support us.
Correct. And I would just clarify, you probably want to be putting in qualified opportunities, right? Not leads and prospects, right?
Yeah,
But
qualified opportunities,
right?
but there's no, I guess, in terms of so that's, but in terms of the pull out, there's no one really to work with. It's sort of a, if they come look for you type of setup.
I think that's where Kate was referring to, kind of the GTM services. There are multiple offers there of how to kind of elevate that profile internally, and it depends on also which areas you want to, from a geo standpoint, where are you trying to focus. There are certainly resources to tap into, but it depends on which direction you want to go, and kind of what kind of segment are you after, what geo and what industry. So that would be something we'd probably take offline.
Okay, thank you.
All right, perfect. And then Carlos has had his hand up for a while. So Carlos, do you have a question for us today?
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, my question is about how can we make sure the partner, the field is getting the opportunity shared by the partner from Partner Center, because I've been looking for them, but I don't know if it's required like a specific permission in MSX, to make sure and view the shared opportunities and everything else the partner has shared from Partner Center.
So let me repeat back to you what I think your question is. You're asking about Microsoft sellers and how do they know if a partner has shared something with them?
Yes, well, I want to make sure from my end. I want to know how can I make sure from my end the opportunities and the engagements the partner has shared from Partner Center, if it's that possible, even if I'm not a seller.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Sorry, Kate. I could take this one. So, Carlos,
Sure.
I think this forum being primarily kind of a partnering thing, there's nothing that the partner needs to do to ensure that the right seller essentially picked it up. I was just giving James a little bit of guidance on, hey, make sure you select the right type of help that you need. There's a variety of options. I think we have 6 options that are kind of industry standard. Hey, do I need POC or demo help, or do I need licensing contract terms help? Or do I just want to share this privately, right, with either my OCP folks that I'm working with to show maybe we've built a business plan together. I'm not really willing to share this with the sales team. And therefore, and really important to identify that when you say you don't need help, at least today in Partner Center, those don't go to MSX, which is our internal
Correct.
Microsoft sales system, right? They're not visible for our sellers intentionally because that's your private pipeline you're sharing. So Carlos, we'll probably take the internal visibility question within MSX, which seller, which types of roles offline. But from a partner perspective, the guidance is to, as much as possible, if you're willing to share with the Microsoft sales team or you want to get credit for programs like Azure IP Co-Sell or ISV Connect, you need to select one of the options other than no help required, right? You can imagine no help required means we're not going to route that to a direct Microsoft seller to engage with you, since you're not asking for that help.
I see your point in here, Rob, but the partners, even if some partners are selecting one of those fields, the CTA. However, even though we are not able to see those engagements or opportunities in MSX.
Yeah, Carlos, we can definitely take this offline
Okay,
since
sure.
you're internal, because I want to make sure we get to the partners question since this is a
Sure.
partner forum.
Sure.
So I want to go to Nada. I believe I'm saying you're pronouncing your name right. Nada's question, which is how do I activate P2P co-selling? And so most simply, you do it through 2 different ways. One, you can configure or enable your offer through the CSP channel, which means that our indirect providers can in fact sell it for you. Or you would, just like you would share an opportunity with a Microsoft seller in that sharing process within Partner Center, you can in fact you can, in fact, bring in and pull in a solution of another partner's and share that deal with them. So functionally, it is that we you do it just like you would a deal with a Microsoft seller, or if you want to go through that indirect provider route, that would be another way to do that. And
Okay,
then, yep. And
I have
then,
a question.
Elan,
Maybe we can take it offline, right?
yeah, Elan, do you want to state your question for us, please? Elan?
Yes, sure. So yeah, hello, Nicolon from my group. So I have a number of solution Outlook, mostly Teams apps, and a SharePoint Online app as well that I had in OCP. They were co-sell ready. Everything was perfect. And then they were migrated into commercial marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not sure if they're still marked as co-sale ready. Can you guys see it in the back end? And the reason for why I'm also a bit confused right now is when I look in my commercial marketplace, I see a design update, and I can now see a column called Azure IP co-sale, and they're all set to no. So of course my solution are not Azure IP co-sale ready, but they're Teams IP co-sale ready or Microsoft Office 365 co-sale ready. So my question is just how can I see if they're co-sale ready after the migration?
This is a great question, and unfortunately, this is going to be sort of a flighted answer in what you can see today, and then where we're going in the future. So you were completely correct that the status of co-sale ready, which was associated in OCP GTM, is not visible today inside commercial marketplace. So what I can share with you is that the solution status that you should be looking for is complete, and to make sure that you have that all of your that offer has then gone live within commercial marketplace. I know that's kind of confusing, and when in doubt, please do file a support ticket if you have a question to make sure that your offer is still good to go if you have any concern about it. We are making steps as quickly as possible to reconcile those solution statuses for you inside commercial marketplace. And so you will, in the somewhat near future, see the solution statuses of co-sell ready as well as incentive eligible in there, meaning that that ties to the solution status that you've attained through the various steps that you took to attain that status.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect. And then it looks like Katie, you had a couple questions, and I want to make sure that you've received answers in the chat window if I haven't seen them.
Hi, yes. So I'm still receiving referrals through Partner Sales Connect, although we are eligible to receive referrals in Partner Center. So I was just curious as to when I would stop having to manage both portals and when the transition would fully be complete. Or is that something I need to ask my PDM about? Or
yeah, so great question.
Let me just add real quick, because I've been chatting with Katie about this.
Yeah.
That she did the opportunities that have been shared do have attached solutions to them.
Yes, it was a M365 E5 proof of concept. So I would your first response, I was assuming, well, that is a solution that should be offered within Partner Center, correct?
Yes. That being said, the solution doesn't need to be mastered in commercial marketplace. It can still be mastered in OCP GTM. And if you've moved your co-selling activity to Partner Center, that's where you should get everything new.
Yeah, so she is using the referrals module, and
Okay.
the opportunities have attached solutions. So I was just going to recommend she raise a ticket unless either you or Rob have other suggestions.
Yeah, so I can take this one as well. So Katie, it sounds like you intend to completely co-sell in Partner Center, and you're confused of why this bifurcated experience. Why am I getting some deals in PSC and some in Partner Center?
Right.
That's absolutely a conversation with your PDM if you have one. And what likely that's intentionally meant to be avoided. It's possible that perhaps you have multiple accounts, maybe multiple PDMs across different areas, that is causing one PDM flip the switch for you, another PDM hasn't. The PDM or local internal OCP resources have the ability to quote flip the switch for you to say, hey, they're ready to move to Partner Center now. We're trying to allow as many partners as possible to have the agency of deciding when they want to move. So if you're ready to move, I mean, I can personally go in and just look at this for you real quick and flip you over across all your accounts. But for those at scale, it should be through your PDM, or oh, sorry, my mic just cut out briefly. If you don't have a PDM, or you're just starting out and you don't have any OCP resources helping you directly, you'll either be, rest assured, you will be migrated. You'll see the notice in Partner Sales Connect when you're expected to move, and you'll have a notice of when you have completed the move. Of course, with all the readiness documentation around how to make sure you have the right access in Partner Center. And so, yeah, that's the answer. But if you are bifurcated right now, if anyone else is, please reach out to your OCP resource or log a ticket if you don't have an OCP resource to make sure that that's fixed.
Great, thank you. I'll take it up with my PDM. We talk tomorrow, so I'll just raise that question to him then.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Ati, I want to make sure that I understand your question before I try to answer it. We are working in 2 platforms. Sellers at Microsoft are not educated to push to the new system, and we keep getting feedback on the PSC opportunities we put in. So I think what you're saying is that you are still in Partner Sales Connect and you're also in Partner Center. Is that what you're saying? Ati? Okay, I'm going to go to the next question because I want to make sure I'm answering that, but I don't know exactly what you're asking. And then Christina, has your question been answered? Or sorry, Krista? Krista Anderson?
Yes, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, perfect. And we have more from our friend Ati. And then there's a question around co-sell days. And co-sell days is something that is driven by our local subsidiaries. You might have something called co-sell days. There might also be some other sort of events that are happening locally. The best way to access those is going to be through information from your local subsidiary. So if you have a PDM, which it sounds like Debbie Jane, you do, I would connect with them. They are going to have the most up-to-date information or be able to direct you to where the local information is there. Oh, sorry, just kidding. Rob already answered that in the chat.
Good thing we had the same answer. Yeah, co-sale days or speed dating. It's kind of an unofficial, right? It's very locally dependent. So where you're working, just like Kate said, reach out to them and they can help you.
Perfect. And then we have a couple more minutes here. And so I want to make sure that the partners on this call have had their questions answered and the information they need before we close, because we do have a couple more minutes unless we're done. All right. With that, I think we're going to get a couple minutes back today. Thank you, everyone who attended. Please subscribe and attend our future calls. Our topics vary, but we are here to ask the questions that you have and try to give you resources in the direction that you need. So the more questions you ask through this forum, the better answers we can give, and have proactive integration too, so we can make sure that you're getting the information that's relevant to your business. So thank you again for your time today. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, depending on where you're at. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. We're ready to wrap up, and thank you, Megan and Rob, for answering the questions. So the recording of this call will be available on the Microsoft Partner Community, so I will make sure this link is available here in the chat. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.